Hello everybody, welcome back to Beware the Terrible. Today we have a new deck for you called the Sakura Shaolin, featuring our Florges from Evolving Skies with the Rapid Strike Connection ability, allowing you to move an energy from one of your Pokemon to one of your Rapid Strike Pokemon. So we are trying to use this ability to fast charge our Urshifu VMAX with our Zapdos as well. So Zapdos, Galarian Zapdos has a strong legs charge ability, allowing you to attach 2 fighting energy from your hand to this Pokemon as you place it onto your bench during your turn. So we obviously get to attach another energy from our hand, essentially attaching 3 energy to our Pokemon and then moving those energies to our Urshifu VMAX with our Florges, allowing us to hit Gmax Rapid Flow every turn. We get to recycle this ability with our Scoop Up Net as well. So that means we actually get to use Strong Legs Charge over and over and over again. We only have 2 Zapdos though, so we have to make sure to use it at the right time and make sure we have enough energy cards in our hand to be able to use Strong Legs Charge. Sometimes you may only have 1, but sometimes that 1 is enough to do our Gmax Rapid Flow because we are playing our Rapid Strike energy, 4 copies of it. So if we have only that 1 extra fighting energy to attach to our Zapdos with the Strong Legs Charge ability, then sometimes we may need to do that just to not waste our turn doing nothing. You know, it's better to hit your Gmax Rapid Flow continuously, turn after turn, so that you actually get to collect a lot of prize cards and, you know, threaten your opponent's Pokemon. If they don't heal in time or if they don't kill our Urshifu VMAX fast enough, then they actually lose the game. 3 or 4 Rapid Flow is enough to collect all 6 prize cards with 4 knockouts. So if we hit 2 Gmax Rapid Flow, we can actually knock out 2 V Pokemons. And then the third strike allows us to collect another 2 prize cards if they play single prize on their bench. Obviously, if they play 130 HP or more for their 1 prize cards on their bench, like Lugia or something like that, then we can't actually knock it out with 1 hit Gmax Rapid Flow. But if they play Chinchinos or Oranguru, we can actually do it. Or even Flaffy, we can actually knock out 2 Flaffies for 2 prize cards. So that is very important to note that all we need is 3 Rapid Flows. If they play a lot of Vs that haven't evolved or that are not meant to evolve, like Zeraora V, Crobat V, or Kricketune V, Eldegoss even. So if they play a lot of V cards on their bench that are not meant to evolve or that evolves too slowly, then we can actually knock out 2 Vs and collect 4 prize cards with 2 Rapid Flows, and then another 1 strike is enough to collect that last 2 prize card. Because that 1 strike, if they play Chinchinos, then that allows us to collect those 2 last prize cards. If they have no low HP single prize Pokemons on their bench, then that's okay, because all we need is another 2 strikes of Rapid Flow to knock out another 2 Crobat V or Kricketune V or another 2 V cards. If they don't play those Crobat Vs and Kricketune Vs, then that would be bad for us because those V cards on their bench can evolve. And if they evolve, that means we need another strike to be able to knock out that VMAX. And we may not need 3 prize cards for the last win. We may only have 2 prize cards left. So we may need another strike just to, you know, they may delay us by another strike is what I'm trying to say. So evolving into a VMAX actually slows us down by a lot. So if they have any VMAX in play, if they play a lot of VMAXs and not a lot of Crobats, if you don't see a lot of Flaffies or Chinchinos or any single prize cards with 120 or less HP in play, then it's probably best to target those VMAXs early on. Because if you target them early on, you can knock it out for 3 prize cards, and then all you need to worry about later is to, you know, target other V cards to collect those last prize cards. Because if you target a VMAX and a V card on their bench, you essentially get to knock out the V on your second strike. And on your third strike, you get to knock out the VMAX that we targeted earlier. Plus, you get to hit damage on a new V card on their bench. Hopefully a Crobat or something, a V card that cannot evolve like a Zeraora V or something like that. And then on your 4th hit, you can collect that 1 last prize card by knocking out that V card on their bench, you know? So if they play very pesky cards, like if they play only VMAXs, no Crobat Vs, and, you know, very, very few 1 prize cards on their bench, if they play that arrangement, then all we need to do is target their VMAXs very early on and make sure we accumulate a lot of damage on their VMAXs a lot at a time. That way, if all of their VMAXs, their attacking V cards die, then they can't actually do anything. We actually slow them down by a lot. So if we knock out 2 VMAXs at the same time, then they're gonna have to evolve. They're gonna have to fish out another new V card, evolve that new V card, charge it back all up, and then attack with that new V card. So obviously they're going to prepare the third one already as we strike the first 2. But, you know, they may not be able to bring out the third the third VMAX card in time. That's what I'm trying to say. If they evolve way too early, if we haven't strike it before they evolve 2 VMAXs, then we may be able to win the game by hitting 2 VMAX with 3 strikes. So if we hit 3 Rapid Flow, if they don't heal their Pokemons, obviously we are relying on them not healing their Pokemons because we are not playing Mimikyu heal jamming. We don't have Mimikyu in this deck, no Dina Tree heal as well. So if they heal their Pokemon with a Cheryl, Corviknight VMAX, Bronzong, if they have a Bronzong on their bench, then target at Bronzong early on. Any Bronzors or Bronzong is dead fast with your single strike Urshifu because we have our double energy in this deck. So we can actually target those Bronzong early in the game. So not to worry if they have a Corviknight VMAX and Bronzong. But if they play like Seabold or something, a heal cards like that, Lucky Ice Pop, or a lot of cards that heal their Pokemon, even a Lucky Ice Pop, 30 damage, you know, all they need is heal 30 damage, then they actually slow us down by a lot because we are only doing 120 to their Pokemon, 2 Pokemons at a time, but it's only 120. We have no Telescopic Sight, we have no Passimian in this deck, so if we have none of those 2 cards, that means we only do a raw 120 damage to 2 Pokemons that we choose, either a bench or their active Pokemon, with our G-Max Rapid Flow. So that is quite weak in a sense, but the strong point of this deck is that we get to do G-Max Rapid Flow turn after turn non-stop. So that is what we want to achieve with our Rapid Strike Connection card with our Florges from Evolving Skies. So this card is kind of similar as your Galarian Moltres Energy Switch combo or your Melanie card. A lot of people play Melanie with Galarian Moltres and your Energy Switch as well to fast charge to, you know, and Raihan also to be able to add that extra 1 energy so that you get to use G-Max Rapid Flow with your Rapid Strike energy. But with this deck, we don't need our Rapid Strike energy. So if we have 3, all we need is 3 fighting energy in our hand, or maybe even 2 fighting and 1 Aurora. Aurora allows us to discard something from our hand so that we get to use our Rapid Strike Mustard. We'll get to that later, but if we have 3 fighting energies on our hand, that is enough to use our Rapid Flow with our 2 abilities. So obviously we need 2 abilities. We need a Galarian Zapdos in hand. We need another 2 fighting energies, extra fighting energies on our hand to be able to attach with Strong Legs Charge, and we need also our Florges in play on our bench. How do we get out our Florges as fast as possible? We have our Galarian Meowth and also our Gear to be able to use our Mustard as early on as the 2nd turn. So this is what we want to achieve. That is what we want to achieve with this deck. We have a lot of Evolution Incense to get out our Florges, to discard it early, and then to discard our hand with our Meowth, with our Quick Ball, and our Great Ball, and also our Sonia to get out our basic Pokemon, our Meowth, so that we get to discard our hand until the Mustard card remains as the last card for us to play, to be able to summon our Florges from the discard pile onto our bench, and immediately we get to use our Strong Legs Charge from then on, and then fast charge our Urshifu for the turn after turn non-stop consecutive G-Max Rapid Flow hit. So this is how strong this deck is. We are not relying on our Rapid Strike energy at all. Whereas with your Galarian Moltres Energy Switch or Melanie combo, you are actually relying on that Rapid Strike energy, because if you don't have this energy, that combo is not going to do enough for you. You need 2 fighting and 1 colorless. If you have a Melanie, you need to attach 2 fighting energy cards from your hand, or, you know, from your discard pile with a Raihan or something like that. So you actually need to rely on Gale Thrust still with that type of deck. So with this deck though, we actually get to strike Rapid Flow every turn, but we don't have Telescopic Sight, as we said. No Boss Order, no Telescopic Sight, and no Passimian as well. That means we can't actually target Crobat for 2 prize cards in 1 hit. So obviously Urshifu allows you to target any 2 of your opponent's Pokemon, but having a Boss Order is very, very handy, as we all know, because we can actually drag out a Crobat V onto the active spot, or even a Zeraora V, and then hit it for twice the damage with their weakness, and then target another V card on their bench, essentially accumulating up to 360, doing 360 total damage with your Rapid Flow with 1 hit. So that is what we want to achieve with our Boss Order, but because we don't have any Boss Order, we don't have the space for that card in this deck, we actually have to conserve. We have to be very selective with what Pokemon we are hitting with our G-Max Rapid Flow, so that we get to restrict the amount of times that we need to do this attack to be able to win the game. Because if you are smart enough to target the right Pokemon, then all we need is 3 or 4 hits to win the game with your G-Max Rapid Flow. So this is how strong this deck is. We are trying to use a turn after turn G-Max attack with our Rapid Strike Connection ability, and also with Strong Legs Charge to help us. We can actually recycle this ability. We have 2 Scoop Up Nets in this deck, so we don't have to worry too much about it being, you know, being exhausted, we actually have to get out our energy cards as well, but that's okay because we have 4 Sonias in this deck. Sonia allows us to get out our basic Pokemon or our energy cards, but obviously it's a supporter card, so we don't actually get to use our Research, Birdkeeper, or Marnie later on. So those are our supporter cards. We have 2 Birdkeepers, 2 Marnies, 3 Research, and 4 Mustards. We want to be using Mustard as early on as possible and as many times as we can so that we get to get out our Florges and revive it if they kill it. If they knock out our Florges fast, then we actually get to revive it fast with our Rapid Strike Mustard, because we do have 4 copies of this Mustard card in our deck, so that we get to bring out our Florges into play and revive it if they knock it out later on. So we have 4 Mustards to spare. That means if we have to discard a lot of other Mustards on our hand just to use that 1 Mustard card, then at least we have those extra ones in our deck left to revive our Florges if it gets knocked out early. So obviously your opponent is going to target this card, because if they don't do that, then you actually get to hit your Rapid Flow every turn. Our strategy is not Gale Thrust here, because sometimes we may be stuck with only 1 Urshifu VMAX in play. Obviously we want to have 2 Urshifus in play so that at least we get to evolve it on our next turn. If our active VMAX gets knocked out, then on our next turn all we need to do is evolve and then attach energy, and then we are good to go for another Rapid Flow hit. But if we are stuck with only 1 VMAX, only 1 Urshifu in play, while all of our bench is filled with Crobats, our Zapdos, Meowth, because we do need a lot of supporting bench cards in this deck. So if we have all our bench spot filled with other cards and we only have 1 Urshifu in play, that is quite risky for us. That means we can't use Gale Thrust at all, because we only have limited amount of switch cards in this deck. We can't actually switch enough times. We need 2 switches to be able to use Gale Thrust for 150 damage. So our strategy is not Gale Thrust, as I said. So sometimes you may need only 1 Urshifu VMAX to win the entire game. So obviously it's actually safer to have 2 Urshifus in play. So I would recommend for you to save your bench spot, not play too many Crobats, not play too many Meowth, only play as much as you need so that you get to place another Urshifu on your bench, so they get to be safer, and that way you get to attack constantly with your GMAX Rapid Flow even after your active VMAX gets knocked out. So we also have 4 Quick Balls and 4 Sonias to get out our basic Pokemons. We have 1 Great Ball to get out our Evolution or any Pokemons at the top 7 cards of our deck. And we also have our Evolution Intense to bring out our Urshifu VMAX and also our Florges, because we do need to discard Florges early on to be able to bring it out early so that we get to use the Connection ability as fast as possible. We may only need to summon our Florges on our 3rd or 4th turn, because we don't actually need this ability for our first GMAX Rapid Flow hit. Unless they use Crushing Hammer or Fan of Waves or something like that. So it's actually better to bring it out as early on as you can. And also, to be able to use this ability, we need our Galarian Zapdos in hand, plus a lot of energy cards. We need our basic energy cards up to 3, or if we have our Rapid Strike energy, all we need is that 1 extra basic energy to attach with Strong Legs Charge, and then transfer that extra energy to our Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX for that Rapid Flow hit. So if we don't have enough energy cards in hand, if we don't have a Zapdos, then it may be wiser to get it out fast with our Quick Ball, to find our Quick Ball with our supporter cards or something, and then, you know, you have to be smart to get them out. You know, get out your Zapdos in pair with your basic energy cards, and also use your supporter cards at the right time after attaching your energies or something like that, to be able to get out 3 energy cards, or even 2 if you have a Rapid Strike energy, to attach to your Urshifu VMAX, to attach to any Pokemon basically, and then use your Florges to transfer them to your Urshifu, and then hit your GMAX Rapid Flow turn after turn. That is the main strategy for this deck. If you have, for example, a Galarian Zapdos and 1 basic energy in hand, it may be necessary just to attach only 1, because you can use your Research after that to search for another Rapid Strike energy. If you haven't used any Rapid Strike energy, if you have a high chance of getting it out into your hand, then it may be wiser just to attach only one fighting energy to your Galarian Zapdos with Strong Legs Charge, because sometimes 1 is enough to hit with GMAX Rapid Flow, because 1 with your Rapid Strike energy equals 3. So that's all for the deck review. I don't want to go on too long. Let's go ahead for gameplay. Gameplay will be silent so that everybody gets to focus. Hope you guys enjoy the game. Have fun. We'll see you on the next video, and have a nice day. Bye guys!